What's going on, everybody? Back again with another video. We're gonna show you how to clean a crappie. So just like in my previous video, first thing, just gonna cut right behind the head, and we're just gonna basically outline the fish. So you can see I start taking my knife down the backbone. And now I'm reaching the other half of the fish on the bottom side. Right over top of the rib cage. There, now I've actually made it over the ribs. And then you can see I'm finishing off the fillet. Most of the time when I actually clean crappie, I will use an electric fillet knife. I know I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube where people use electric knives instead of a regular conventional knife. This is kind of the long drawn out way. This is just kind of showing you the bone structure, because yes, you technically could cut right behind the head and then turn your knife at a 90-degree angle and just cut it all the way down. So I'm sure I'll get some comments on that, but this is not the most efficient way. This is just showing you kind of what I like to consider the safe way. You're going to get a little bit more yield off of some of these fish when you outline them, as opposed to just taking the electric knife and filleting them. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's people out there who could fillet them where you can hold them up and see light straight through them with an electric knife. But just me personally, if I'm trying to get all the meat I can, and I'm not super concerned about time, then I'll usually fillet a fish like this. But you can see we did the first side, and now we're on to the second side. Same as before, I'm just gonna continue to work my knife down the backbone. You can see I get close to the rib cage, and then that's when I have to start turning my knife over top of that rib. And a lot of times I'll get towards the tail and I'll go ahead and just separate that, because it makes it a little bit easier to get over this big rib cage that these fish have. So you can see here I'm just continuing down the rib cage. There's not a ton of meat over top of the ribs, so it's really not super critical that you cut it so close that you end up puncturing through the ribs. And you can see I just fillet right down the rest of the side. And there you see I'm just separating the meat from the rest of the bone. As you can see, there's not much left on that fish, so I feel like I did a pretty good job there. Now I'm just going to show you how to take the skin off. Pretty simple, just going to make a cut right there, then hold on to the skin, and I'm just going to work the fillet and kind of just let the knife ride, and it's going to do the work. And then now you can see I'm feeling for the pin bones right here, so now I'm just going to cut the pin bones out, and then kind of, crappie have this bit of a round section, which is what you see me cutting out right now, and that's pretty much it. So now we're going to go on to the next one. Same thing, just going to let the knife kind of do the work. And yes, so now I'm just going to cut out this little section right here. It's probably edible, I'm just not a huge fan. And once again, going to feel for those pin bones. We're just going to cut those out. Well, that just about does it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to let me know down in the comments and give it a like. I do want to just say thank you for all the support. We have hit over 100 subs, so that's pretty cool. Once again, I just want to thank you guys, so I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, and we'll see you next time.